Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sports Night. Wells and Sullivan, as promised, the bad ASDU president. As we said
man, you killed him.
Yeah, I'm crushing him. He's my buddy. It's Mark Lewis. We play men's basketball together. We used to live together. Full disclosure, I was a better roommate than he was.
Good times, good times.
A lot of good times. He's on the show right now. Mark, what's happening?
Not much. How was that? How was that intro?
Not much. Not much. I mean, that was about as, it's okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. All right, so you're a men's basketball player.
Still.
Like the basketball, you run around in a pair of shorts and Mike every day.
Despite what it looks like.
Yeah, despite my 5'11" brown frame with hairy legs.
With hairy legs and a full beard.
You do a good job out there.
You know, I touch the backboard on some fast breaks. We do all right.
Every once in a while on a layup, you'll get a little bit above the net.
I'll get up.
You run around and look sweaty. You look like you're doing something. That's what it's all about.
You're also the ASDU president, which is big at our school. In the past couple of years, there's been these complaints about like what's going on campus. There's nothing to do, and really this year it feels like school spirit. At least in my time, I can't speak for the 10 to 15 years before me, but it feels like school spirit's at an all-time high. What are you doing, and what is your goal here with trying to get this campus community more together?
Well, my goal coming in was that, my philosophy was you only go to college once, and you only have 4 years, and these are supposed to be the best years of your life.
Unless you're me and Mike,
Yeah, unless you're Mike Wells, you're here for your 7th year.
He's 7.
And he loves it so much, he stays.
Yeah.
So my goal was to make the best of it, and one of the ways, definitely athletics has helped it, tremendous amount because we've gone D2. Our freshman enrollment has been an all-time high for the last, so many years. But what's really been helping me is joining all the clubs together, bringing everyone around similar ideals. You get back what you give, and that's what I've found out through this year.
And so you got like you hanging out with the sailing club, and everybody gets along.
Exactly. There has been hanging out. There has been more of just people supporting other groups. I feel if we go to simple analogy, if we go to all the soccer games, the soccer guys are going to come to all of our basketball games. So by us supporting other groups' events, they're going to help our events, and if we all work together, it's going to be a lot better place.
Well, in the past, we talked about this year school spirit's at an all-time high because you're doing such a great job in there. He called you a bad president. Obviously, we were just kidding. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
This is the first time an athlete's been ASDU president in the history of Dominican, and before this year, before the past couple years, as long as we've been here, it's kind of been some tension between athletics, ASDU, other groups around campus. You talked about working with them and putting on things with them. You guys are working real well together.
Right.
There's been good events so far this year. Has it been a challenge because of that past we've had where athletics don't quite mesh with ASDU? I mean, was that tough at first?
Not at all. I think one of the reasons is because I am an athlete, so it's easier to mesh with the athletes. That was one of the reasons that motivated me to run, was that tension and whatnot. So I wanted to break that down because I think the athletes have a lot to offer. They're probably one of the most spirited groups on campus, and I think we can use that to our advantage.
One of the things I've noticed is that you're often better dressed when you come to school. You got all these meetings and committees you have to sit on.
You dress better now.
How is your wardrobe?
You shower?
I mean, how's your wardrobe and hygiene improved with this vote of confidence?
It's gone through the roof. Joey, I had to go to Mike the other day in the locker room and apologize for not participating in the beard month, and told him I would make a generous donation to his campaign. I had a couple video interviews and an interview this month that I couldn't participate.
Hey,
so
that makes sense. Do your thing. Keep being a good president.
So.
We understand.
No,
Mike's looking like a caveman over here.
Mike looks
You're
terrible.
an important person. We understand.
I got champion sweatpants on. I got a backwards hat.
He hasn't showered since practice at whatever time you guys practice. Mark showered 9 times, done 9 interviews, and written like 4 essays since then. And he's wearing a suit.
I haven't showered since practice ended last Thursday.
There you go. There you go.
Pizza grease all over you and everything.
How do you balance both of these? I mean, it's a question that they asked you when you were campaigning. Well, Mark, how are you going to do both? And how are you doing both? I mean, these are 2 time-consuming activities.
Right. People brought that up a lot, and that was always a challenging question for me. The one thing is, you guys know, at athletes, we start our day at 6:30 in the morning. We get up, we lift, we get what we have to do done, get it out of the way. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't want to, but I'm there. But what I've found is the busier I am, the more productive I am. I lived with Mike a couple years. One of the things he taught me was treat school like a job. You get there in the morning, you leave at night.
You're
don't
learning
go
from
home.
this guy?
I'm learning from Mike.
You see that?
I'm
setting
the wrong road.
That might be a bad thing.
Do you want to talk, or do you want me to talk?
I don't want you to talk. I want Mark to talk.
I want Mark to talk too. That's why he's here. You got anything to say?
About what?
He doesn't have anything to say. So now it's my turn to talk. You see how I did that? Mark, what's the are you gonna plan on doing this in the future? Is this a one-time thing? Are you gonna go for 2 years at this? You're a junior now. Why not do it next year as well?
I've been asked that a few times, and I've kind of been going back and forth in my mind. I'm gonna let it ride out until the end of my junior year and make that decision. One of the benefits, I really, I think I do a good job as president. I think I represent the students well. On the other hand, I feel like I would want to enjoy my senior year, work on getting an internship, really enjoy my last year of basketball. But I'm going to come down and make that decision when it has to be made.
And tough people could run against you next year. I've heard Jim Little's throwing his name in that.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Jim Little, lacrosse star, 5'4", eats and sleeps all day, and then goes to practice. I love
and he's
Jim.
the fastest guy in the field.
He's the fastest. So do you have, you obviously hang out with some important people, the movers and shakers on campus. President Fink, do you have his number on speed dial or anything like that?
Yeah, he's right after voicemail.
He's number two. He's number two.
He's number two.
And is Toomey 3?
I see Fink here and there. My direct superiors would be the Dean of Students and the Associate Dean of Students with Paul Roccanello and John Kennedy. So those are the people I talk to mostly. I do run into Fink here and there. I probably should talk to him more than I do. It scares me.
What do you guys talk about?
Minds right there.
What do you guys talk about when do you kind of say, hey, you may be the president of the school, but I'm the president of
I got the backup. He's the big dog, but I got the numbers behind me, so he listens.
He takes your order. You kick his door into his office, and you sit in his desk.
Exactly.
Do you get an opportunity to make a lot of suggestions on the students' behalf?
I do.
Hold on a second. You may think that's in the best interest of the university, but you're 50,
right?
Or whoever you're talking to. I'm a student, and I have a pulse on what the students want.
Part of my job description, I sit on a lot of boards, and I'm pretty much the student voice, a student representative. So a lot of issues have been going around campus. They want to hear a student's perspective. They'll come to me, and I'll say what I got to say.
Let's shift over to basketball, to sports now. It's a sports show. We like to have fun, joke around, blah, blah, blah. You're the president. It's a big deal. Basketball is a big deal, too. You guys are starting up. You had an exhibition. You beat PUC. You probably should have beat them by a little more, but you guys did them pretty well, whatever. It's the first scrimmage. Mike missed about three-pointers out there. Four three-pointers. Good looks, but you missed them. That's fine.
Good looks, but you missed them. That's fine. All right.
No, but how are we looking this season? I mean, I saw the scrimmage. Mike tells me about you guys. You guys got a lot of talent, obviously this year.
Oh, my gosh.
Your athleticism is just through the roof. Maybe not you two in general, but everyone else on the team.
Dude, thanks again.
And I can say this because I was a poor athlete in my days. So
still are.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the outlook like? First in conference, third, fourth? I mean, what are we looking at?
We're predicted, I think, third from the bottom.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I think
terrible.
we were predicted like sixth.
Sixth, yeah. So about sixth. I think we can do better. Last year was our first year in the conference, so it's kind of like we accepted anything but last. But I think we underachieved a little bit. I think we could have come together more as a team. This year we're a lot more athletic. The more tall, athletic black guys we get, the less guys like me and Mike play. So
they don't cook them up like you and me.
Probably for the better.
Right. It's bittersweet. You see your playtime go down, or guys taking your minutes. But I'd rather be part of a successful team.
Mike did lead the conference in something last year. What did you lead the conference in,
High
Mike?
fives and first off
high
the bench.
High fives off the bench.
I think you got double high fives and butt slaps.
Butt slaps was the other.
Mark's coming for you though.
There you go. I'm coming. I'm catching up. I lead defensive chants. That's what I do.
Yeah. The other night, Mark and I were sitting there and we're talking to Mark Lewis, men's basketball player.
Hey, Mark started the game.
And also,
what are you gonna say? He's on the bench.
Let me tell the people who we're talking to. It's Mark Lewis, ASDU President, also a basketball player. Thanks for joining us on Sportsnight. We're sitting there on the bench. Mark plays a great deal more than I do, but he happens to be sitting there at the same time I'm sitting there, which is, any of the minutes he's not in the game.
Would be that time.
Would be that time. So we're sitting there, and Mark's kind of spacing out just for a moment. He's tired. He's gassed. And I look at him. I'm like, Mark, we got to get into this game, man. He's like, yeah, I know. He's like, why don't you start the defense champ for us? And we're on offense.
I full blown go for it. And this was right after I threw a bad alley oop to Ian Collins. Coach sits me down, yells at me, "This isn't an effing circus, Mark." And so I'm getting yelled at, and next thing I know, I'm 2 feet away from Coach Giovanni starting the defensive chant when we have the ball.
Chavez attacking the basket.
Mike's holding back a smirk. I'm sitting there with my face in my hands.
Hey, that's our president, everyone. Got the wrong chant going.
you got the wrong chant going on the side.
So third from the bottom in the Pac West. You guys finished fifth last year?
No, sixth.
I believe it was a tie for sixth.
Oh, was it a tie for sixth?
I believe
yeah. So it's 7-9. That was the record, correct?
Let's just call it fifth. It was
call it fifth. Yeah, that's fine with me. Yeah. We'll say fifth.
I think in 5 years it's going to be third. In 20 years, I got.
Well, Austin Bryan still recovering, freshman of the year. The Pac West still recovering from that knee injury. Obviously, a big part of the team. Adam Chavez back, big part of the team. The past 2 years before last year, he took last year off. He redshirted. And you got guys like Ian Collins coming in. You got Leon Hart coming in. All these new guys, athletic guys. Connor Haysbert's another big body that's going to give Killian some time off. So Killian's not out there for 40 minutes, get fouling out every game, playing all the time. I mean, can we say top 4? I'm thinking top 3 possibly. I mean, I think you could surprise a lot of teams. Last year you finished 7-9, but Austin was hurt those last 4 or 5 games.
Right, we have the potential. I think once Austin comes back and once McNally comes back, we got a full team. We got all our firepower back. We definitely have the depth and the athleticism. It's whether we can mesh as a team or not.
And that does bump Wells down the depth chart.
It does. Wells might not make the travel team.
That's fine. As far as I'm concerned at this point, Tavani, that trip to the Southwest, Dixie State.
Yeah.
I'm not going to miss the Utah-Arizona trip.
Yeah, just, go ahead and leave me behind. I'll hang out here. You guys go play Dixie in Grand Canyon in the desert.
Exactly.
Nobody can breathe. Everybody needs chapstick. Let me know how it goes. No, in all seriousness, we do have a good team. We have some depth, and I think that's one of our strengths is we have a lot of different guys that can play. So in a situation like we're in now with McNally and Austin Bryan both still struggling to recover from injuries, and even James McKinnon, who redshirted last year with an ACL tear, has kind of been banged up periodically so far in the preseason. We have guys that can step in and play. I mean, you saw that PUC game. There's some freshmen. Keenan Hale, Daniel Cheladinas, Miles Carrillo, Brendan Holmes. These guys can step in and play right away. So it's not a bad thing that we have 15, 16 guys. It's a good thing.
I think depth might be your best attribute this year. From what I've seen in one scrimmage, I mean, it's just been one, but I think depth is huge this year for you guys.
Mark, I know where you fall into that mix and what your role is, but other people don't. What is your role on this team? What do you see it as?
My role in this team is to bring enthusiasm to the court. I'm a distributor. I can hit my open shot. I know I'm not a scorer. I just come in and try and bring defensive energy to the floor.
Very important role.
I go in, try not to get yelled at, try and get noticed by some of the girls in the crowd.
Yeah,
and I go
you're
home.
flexing your muscles away, bringing the ball up the court.
Exactly.
Here's a funny story. We'll go with another inside scoop here type of thing where only I have the angle. Nobody else would find this out.
Okay. Well, now I'm gonna know.
Kind of like the story before with the defense, and Mark.
Okay.
So the other day we're lifting after practice. We do lift weights, even if you
very
can't
small
tell.
amount.
Mark doesn't lift so much as I do. Obviously, you can tell by our statures, right? So we're in the weight room, and we're doing we're just beat, right? It's after practice. Oh God,
what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah, let's just get the workout done. Let's get out of here. All right. So we're really coming to the end here, and we start doing stuff that's not necessarily as physically strenuous. We were doing maybe some RDLs with lightweight or something.
We were doing a non-sexy workout.
Non-sexy work, no grunting, no curling, nothing like that. And then I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, in walks Emily Whitaker, really good-looking girl on the women's soccer team.
Oh boy!
And out of nowhere, Mark, I kind of give Mark the nod. I'm like, "Hey, Mark, there's Emily," and he goes, "Oh crap!" And he just starts, boom, power cleaning and
like really fast.
No,
lots of noise, lots of grunts, throwing the weight around.
He's got a barbell loaded up, and he just out of nowhere starts power cleaning, stomping as hard as he can. I'm like, where'd you get all this energy, man? What are you doing here? So
it's like in high school. I always ran the mile faster for conditioning when the cheerleaders were out practicing.
There you go.
When there was a football game going on or something.
That's when you're at your best.
So would you say that you only play basketball for women? It's an honorable thing you do for them.
I would say so.
I don't know where I'm going with that.
I'd say so.
I
Definitely.
say so.
Yeah.
How's Coach T feel about that?
I think he does the same. I think he does the same. I think he coaches for the women.
All right, now we've completely lost control of this thing. Mark Lewis, ASDU President and men's basketball player. Scrimmage on Thursday?
Yes. San Francisco State.
San Francisco State. I don't know if that's like a fan of 10 thing.
Last year when you guys played them, we were on the bottom scroll of Sports Center.
That was San Francisco. This is SF State.
No. It was SF State, I think.
No, it was San Francisco.
I'm mistaken, maybe then.
You're mistaken.
Maybe Mike Wells will get on the bottom scroll this time. 33 points in scrimmage.
There you go. I'm trying to make the one shining moment video.
There you go. That's what we're looking at there.
Yeah, if you get naked and run out on the court
then
in the
I might make
championship game, you'll make it. All right, Mark, thanks for joining us.
All right, guys, take care. Thank you.